Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abatey. We're back here in Coffeyville this evening as the Fort Scott Lady Tigers get set to take on the Coffeyville Lady Nado, as well as the Parsons Lady Vikings. The Parsons match will come up here in just a little bit as the Coffeyville match is about to get started here in just a few moments. The Lady Tigers will be in mostly white. Their libero, Rayleigh Cowan, will be in red. The white jerseys with the black sleeves. And in Coffeyville tonight in pink, I'm sure they're doing a pink out celebration, just like a lot of volleyball teams are doing here in the month of October. And so looking forward to this one coming up here tonight from Coffeyville High School. Just about to get started here this evening. The Lady Tigers come in at 5-23 overall, 1-7 in the SEK. Coffeyville is 7-20 overall, 3-5 in the SEK. So Fort Scott looking to get another league victory here tonight. Hopefully a couple more by the end of things this evening. These two teams played in Parsons a few weeks ago, and Coffeyville won in 3 sets. So we'll see what the Lady Tigers can do here tonight. Fort Scott still So Fort Scott also, we're starting to look at sub-state pairings. And Fort Scott at 5-23 is 1 game behind Labette County, who is 6-22 coming into tonight's action for the 16th and final sub-state spot. So Fort Scott needs a couple of wins. They've got 5 games left, 2 tonight. And they travel to Paola on Thursday. We will not be broadcasting that one. Our friends at Paola Sports Live should be doing that one for you if you're interested in checking that out. And then at home next Tuesday against Independence and Chanute, and then sub-state is set for next Saturday, October 26th. So we'll see. Fort Scott looking to get back into that. They are percentage points behind Ottawa, as the Lady Cyclones are 6-25 right now. So Fort Scott is in 18th place in the sub-state East standings for 4A, but looking to make some ground up over the next few nights. In action, Chanute will start with the first serve, and it is Kaylin Karen, 5'7" junior, who's doing the honors for the Lady Nado. They're in the near end. Fort Scott, of course, in the far end. Nice job by the Lady Tigers. Looked like a violation of some sort maybe on Coffeyville. So Fort Scott gets the point there. Maybe that would go as a straight kill for Kylie Comstock, the 6-foot middle for Fort Scott, but I think they called a violation. Either way, it's Fort Scott's point, and now Coffeyville comes back with one. So they will have Kennedy Redden back to serve now. And to the near side, and that looked like maybe a miss hit there by Coffeyville, so Fort Scott gets the point. Fort Scott able to keep things alive. They'll come and get it back over. Now Coffeyville will go to the far corner, and it is out of bounds. But Fort Scott with an early 3-1 lead here in this first set. Again, we'll play best 2 out of 3. First to 25, winning by 2. Fort Scott ready to serve. It is Kinley Clements doing the honors this time for the Lady Tigers. Hazel Baker gets it back towards the net, but can't find a teammate, so Coffeyville takes the point there, 3-2. Now Brooke Rippey, the 5'8" sophomore for the Lady Nado. Back to serve. Fort Scott goes far side to Hazel Baker, and she finds the back line. Good for Fort Scott. Lady Tigers in their tournament at Colgan over the weekend, they went 1-3, but they did get a 3-set victory against Jayhawk Lynn. And of course, they've won 3 of their last 7 after defeating Columbus at home on October 3rd, and then last Tuesday they defeated Labette County at home as well. So trying to get a little bit of momentum going towards the postseason here in a couple of weeks. Fort Scott able to keep it alive, out off the Coffeyville block and out of bounds. So Fort Scott will pick up the point. You see off to the top of your screen there that FKHS. If you're not familiar with the area, it is Field Kinley High School here in Coffeyville, but everybody still calls them the Coffeyville Golden Tornado. In fact, if we could get more of a wide shot, you might be able to see to the right of your screen, they've got Coffeyville on the basketball floor. And of course, it'll be on their jerseys for the sports that have the team name on the jerseys. Long dig that time for Fort Scott. Sets up Coffeyville there at the net for the easy point. So 5-3 now. Not sure why that is. Most high schools that have a different name than their town name go by the high school name. Fort Scott able to get it over the net. Now they go back corner, and that one stays in. So Coffeyville back to 5-4 now. Where is it? 5-5. Might be 5-all. Now 6-5. Fort Scott able to keep it alive. We'll go far side, and that one goes in. Fort Scott able to tie things back up at 6 apiece here in set number 1. And Avery Stewart back to serve once again. That one blocked at the net by the Lady Tigers. Coffeyville trying to get a pancake there, couldn't quite make it work. So Fort Scott back on top now, 7-6. Fort Scott works the middle. Nice job as they get it to Allie Kalishaw for the kill. Fort Scott leading by 2. Here in the first set of the varsity match. Coffeyville gets it over the net. They'll come to Kalishaw back in the middle. Nice little off-speed shot that time, but Coffeyville able to keep it going. Now Fort Scott will work it near side, just a little bit too far, too wide, off the hand of Stewart. That point goes to Fort Scott. Coffeyville just did get it over the net. Now back to the Lady Tigers. Kendall Aiken swings that one home, finds the corner. And now it's 10-7. That one hit long. Another point for the Lady Tigers here. Now near side. That one hit long. Fort Scott will get libero Rayleigh Cowan back in the match. So she's on the back row with Avery Stewart and Dakota Hazelbaker right now. On the front row, Kendall Aiken, Kinley Clements, and Kylie Comstock. They get it to Kylie in the middle. Nice block by Kinley, and by Kylie and Kendall for the Lady Tiger point there. Fort Scott trying to really put the gas down here in set number one. That one just did trickle over the net. I don't think that was exactly how Kendall wanted that serve, but it worked out perfectly for the Lady Tigers. They now lead at 13-8. This one just over the net as well. Fort Scott keeps it going. They'll come to the middle. Oh, not quite strong enough there. Little off-speed shot, just couldn't quite get it over the net. I think that would have worked had it not hit the net, but either way, Fort Scott still leading by 4 here in set number one. Oh. And some miscommunication on the Lady Tigers side of the court that time. Another point for Coffeyville. Looked like it went off the heel of Hazelbaker, but it works out. They go far side, and it stays in bounds. So Coffeyville gets the point there. Nice little run by the Lady Nado has allowed them to cut this to a 2-point set now. And that one a little bit too long. So Fort Scott gets the point there. They lead by 3 once again. So Fort Scott now leads by 5 once again. So a little run there by Coffeyville got it back down to 2. And another Lady Tiger point. So they now lead by 6 here in this first set. That one hit a little bit too long that time. Nice dig by the Lady Tigers. They got to get it over now, though. Now back to the middle for Coffeyville. comes side to this side to Avery Stewart. Kept alive for the moment. Dig a little bit too long that time for the Lady Tigers, so it's back to a 4-point opening frame here tonight. Fort Scott has had some trouble closing out matches when they've gotten the first set victory, but see what they can do here. If they can keep this up, as that one is too long. Another point for Fort Scott. They now lead by 5 once again. And Rayleigh Cowan back to serve. And that one into the net from Coffeyville. Taylor Karen, their outside hitter, one of them. Tried that angle shot from the corner and didn't get enough height on it. And that one too long for Fort Scott, so point back to Coffeyville. Nice dig on the back row by the Lady Tigers. They keep it alive, and that one will find the corner in. So Fort Scott is the first team to 20 here. Again, we play first to 25, winning by 2. So Fort Scott is 5 points away from clinching this first set. Work it near side again, and another kill for Avery Stewart. And Fort Scott increases that lead. That one blocked by Coffeyville at the net. So the Lady Nado trying to make a comeback here as Fort Scott leads it by 6. That one wide, and that one will go, it crossed the net but outside of the antenna, so Coffeyville gets the point there. Looks like the Lady Tiger JV is leading 19-9 on the other court. Fort Scott gets it over the net. Now they'll go back corner, and couldn't tell if that was called inbounds or if it was called out of bounds off of Fort Scott. Either way, it's Coffeyville's point, and it's back to a 4-point first set score. And the run for Coffeyville continues. Fort Scott will take a timeout here. At 21-18, Lady Tigers lead here in the opening set of this match here tonight. If you need residential, interior, or exterior painting done, or your cabinets refinished, contact the folks at Aura et Labora Painting Company, LLC. Fort Scott native Josh Regan is ready to help you with your project, so give them a call at 620-288-6617. So out of the timeout, Coffeyville will be serving once again. It is their libero, Carly Wintgen, serving. And served just a little bit too long that time, so Fort Scott now within 3 points of closing out this first set. That one is out of bounds. So Avery Stewart back to serve once again. Long dig that time. Fort Scott able to use the overpass there. Nice block by Coffeyville, though. Fort Scott able to keep it alive. Great hustle by the Lady Tigers. That one off the net, but gets over. Fort Scott keeping it alive. Now Kendall Aiken fires one in there, and that'll get inbounds. Out of bounds. So Fort Scott will have a set point now. And Avery Stewart, one of the better servers for the Lady Tigers, will be back to serve for it. Another overpass for Coffeyville. That one just did get over inside the antenna for Fort Scott. They'll come back near side to Clements, and that one is fired home. So Fort Scott takes the opening set here tonight, 25-18 over the Coffeyville Lady Nado. We'll take a quick break and come back. This is Fort Scott Lady Tiger Volleyball on Duckbait TV. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. So Fort Scott wins the first set here tonight, 25-18. So they take a quick 1-0 lead here in this match. Everybody getting there. Lineup set here for set number 2. And again, Fort Scott trying to close this one out. Of their 5 wins, 3 of them have been sweeps. But they've had a lot of matches throughout this season where they've lost, or they won the first set, maybe even won the second set after losing the first one and still lost the match. So Fort Scott looking to get this one taken care of here quickly. We're 1-1 now in the second set. As that point will go to Fort Scott. Coffeyville scored first. And now Clements serving for the Lady Tigers. That another overpass for Coffeyville. Fort Fort Scott trying to find that empty corner, but couldn't quite get it there. And that one hit too long. So Fort Scott goes on top here 2-1 in set number 2. Again, coming into tonight's action, Fort Scott was 1 game behind Labette County for the 16th and final sub-state spot. So, again, if Fort Scott finishes 17th or 18th, they will not make a sub-state tournament this year, but if they can get into the top 16, they will. And they're just right there on the doorstep. I guess maybe the better way to say that. That's one hit a little bit too long for Fort Scott. I don't remember exactly how many games Labette County has tonight, I believe, or has for the rest of the season. I believe they're hosting Chanute, Independence, and Pittsburgh this evening in league play, but I'm not 100% sure who they're I can't remember exactly who they're playing in those matches tonight. That one is off the Fort Scott block, but fell inbounds, so Coffeyville gets the point. 3-2 now, Lady Nado on top. Looks like the Lady Tiger JV won the first set over there as well on the other side of the court. Their scoreboard is right up to our right. And now it's 4-2 Coffeyville here in the varsity match in set number 2. Serving again is Kennedy Redden, 5'6" senior for the Lady Nado. That one served a little long. This gym here in Coffeyville just seems huge. When you walk into it, just the way that it looks as you walk in, and that may affect some depth perception. It didn't seem to bother the Lady Tigers in the first set tonight. We'll see how things go for the rest of the night here. One of the few gyms we go to, or we've been to this season, that the roof probably, I'll knock on wood, but probably won't come into play like it does at the Tiger Dome sometimes. That one falls in there for Coffeyville again, so a nice run here by the Lady Nado. I believe it's 5 straight points for Coffeyville. They now lead it 6-3. That one is fired in there. Coffeyville with a nice run to start this second set, and Fort Scott's going to take a timeout. The Lady Tigers trail 7-3 here in set number 2. If you're in need of livestock risk protection, multi-peril crop insurance, or help with your pasture or private products, Caleb Simpson has you covered. Call or text Caleb with Twin Pine Solutions at 620-215-4144. We'll see how that timeout helps the Lady Tigers. That one, Fort Scott thought was going to go a little bit long, but it just did clip the line there. So, actually, no, it didn't. It did go long. Coffeyville works it far side, a little off-speed shot. Fort Scott tried to keep it in play, but couldn't. So now 8-4. Coffeyville with the lead here in set number 2. Again, Fort Scott won the first set, so Coffeyville will have to win this one to force a third. Fort Scott could close it out with a win here in set 2. That one hit long by the Lady Tigers. It's now 9-4. That one falls in for Coffeyville, and it's quickly 10-4 here in set number 2. Zion Robinson-Turner, the server for Coffeyville right now. Try to work it over the net, but it doesn't work out. Goes a little bit wide. So Fort Scott will get the point there. And now Avery Stewart back on the service line, and we'll see if she can get on a roll. And get the Lady Tigers back in the second frame here. Fort Scott works it to Stewart on the near side. She'll get it over the net. Long dig that time, but played by Coffeyville. Fort Scott, a little off-speed shot from Aiken, but it's dug by Coffeyville. They'll work it to the middle, off the block, but it's kept alive by Coffeyville. Nice job. Ooh, great shot there by Fort Scott. Even better dig by the Lady Nado. And that one is out of bounds. So a long rally there, but Fort Scott gets the point. They now trail by just 4. And again, Avery back to serve. That one off the block. Kept alive by Fort Scott. Now Coffeyville will work it. They hit the antenna, I believe. Fort Scott with 3 straight points now. And this will send Avery Stewart back to serve. And that one is out of bounds. A little bit too long for Avery, trying to find that back corner. Another overpass there from Coffeyville. Fort Scott able to use it. Oh, that hit the net, rolled over, and was also in bounds. So Fort Scott gets the point there. It's now back to a 2-point set. And that one goes into the net, so Coffeyville will get it right back. Allie Kalishaw will check out, as Rayleigh Cowan will check back in on that back row for the Lady Tigers. That one dug too close to the net. Fort Scott tried a nice little quick shot at the net, but couldn't get it all the way to the floor. And now they get to the far side. Kinley Clements will pick up the kill. That one blocked at the net, and they're going to get a lift call on Coffeyville. So back to 1 point now. Lady Tigers and Kendall Aiken will go back to serve. Dug sideways to the side, and that one Coffeyville can't keep in play, so Fort Scott will now tie it up. Now it's 12 all here in set number 2. And again, Fort Scott won the first set tonight. That serve into the net, so Coffeyville retakes A 1-point advantage here. Towards the corner, and that one stays in. So Fort Scott ties it up again, 13-all here in set number 2. That one long, but not long enough, or not too long. As it stays inbounds for another Lady Tigers service ace, Kinley Clements. It's the Lady Tiger point. That one looked like a little bit of a miss hit that time for Coffeyville, but it works out again for another point for the Lady Tigers. Scott gets it over. Now Coffeyville comes back and finds the near corner. So that'll stop the Lady Tiger run for the moment, as Kennedy Redden will go back to serve for the Lady Nado. Near corner, dug by Coffeyville. That one is in. I think they called a violation on Coffeyville. Either way, it's a Fort Scott point. They lead at 16-14. Again, Lady Tigers trying to close out this first match of the evening. We'll play Parsons coming up in just a little bit. Near side, that one in there. Another overpass from Coffeyville. Dug a little bit too strongly that time. That one blocked at the net by the Lady Tigers. So another Fort Scott point here as they now lead at 17-14, and Coffeyville will take a timeout. Try to get themselves regrouped a little bit. Need a full mani-pedi before big weekend plans? Or maybe you want some special nail art to celebrate your favorite singer's football-playing boyfriend. Either way, Delyn Abatey is ready to help. Nails by Delyn is on all the socials, and you can call or text at 620-704-1315. Nails by Delyn at Spoiled Brat on 3rd Street in downtown Fort Scott. So again, out of the timeout, Fort Scott. Leads Fort 17-14 here. Avery Stewart serving. They'll go back corner, and that one just a little bit too long from Clement. So Coffeyville now back to within 2. And one off the Coffeyville block and out of bounds. Fort Scott now leading at 18-15. Again, trying to get another match victory here tonight. We got 2 last week. And it looks like the Lady Tiger JV won the JV match over on the other side. Varsity trying to join them in the win column here. Leading at 19-16. Coffeyville back to serve. Now an overpass from Fort Scott. They've been able to control those serve receives better tonight than they have in the past, but that one a little bit too long. Fort Scott able to recover, though, and get the point from it as they now lead at 20-16. Again, Fort Scott chasing Labette County for the final spot in sub-state, the 16th seed. They also have Ottawa ahead of them on percentage points. Ottawa has several more losses. They've played more matches than the Lady Tigers. That one gets over the net for Fort Scott. Ottawa 6-25, a winning percentage of 194. Fort Scott 5-23 coming into tonight, winning percentage of 179. So they played but one more match. So they do have to pass Ottawa as well, but again, just one full game behind Labette County coming into tonight for 16 seed. Couple of straight points now for Coffeyville. Coffeyville coming into tonight is seated 15th. Parsons, who will play Fort Scott here in just a little bit, they're seated 11th coming in. So Fort Scott could make some hay with a couple of match victories here tonight. Just 5 matches left for the season. Some time running out on the Lady Tigers, but playing well here tonight against Coffeyville. They'll work it to the near side. That one finds the corner. That one, another miss on the return. And Fort Scott now leads at 23-18, 2 points away from winning this first match of the evening. That one back corner, and that one finds the corner inbounds as well. So 24-18, match point coming up for the Lady Tigers. That one served a little bit too long. Still match point for Fort Scott. But now Coffeyville with the serve here. Taylor Karen back to do the honors. That one too long, out of bounds, and Fort Scott takes the match victory here tonight to open the evening as they win the first set 25-18. They win the second one 25-19 and take this in a 2-0 sweep over Coffeyville here this evening. So again, Fort Scott wins the first set tonight, 25-18. They win the second set, 25-19, and get the match victory here this evening over the Coffeyville Lady Nado. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. We'll stop the broadcast here. We'll get the second match started in just a little bit as Fort Scott takes on Parsons to close out the evening in just a few moments. So stay tuned for that. Give us about 5 minutes or so and then refresh your device, whatever you're watching us on, and we'll have the second match coming up in just a few moments here on Duckbait TV. Thanks again for joining us this evening. Fort Scott with the win in match 1, taking the first set over Coffeyville 25-18, the second set 25-19, and win the match 2-0 over the Coffeyville Lady Nado. This has been Fort Scott Lady Tiger Volleyball on Duckbait TV.